Okay, so I don't know how many YouTube videos I've made. This is probably like my fifth or sixth video, and I can confidently say, after making so many videos, I still don't know how to intro a video properly because I feel like I always just start with so and like welcome back, but I guess it's gonna be like this forever. I'm never gonna know how to intro a video. So hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button to see more of this pretty face. So the things I'm going to talk about today have literally benefited me in so many positive ways. I can't even begin to explain how much it has helped me. And I feel like when you do these tiny small adjustments in your life every day, you don't realize how much they're benefiting you. Life feels pretty normal, right? Like if you compare yesterday and today, like what's changed? But when you look at the bigger picture and look back to when you didn't do these things versus like 1 month or 2 months down the line when you're doing these things, it's just insane of how much change there is. I try to do these things on a daily, and if not daily, I kind of try to do them quite often, like a few times a week. So just let's get right into it. So the first thing that's literally transformed my life in ways I cannot explain is journaling. I used to be one of those people that used to look at journaling. You know when you watch those mental health videos on YouTube and they tell you to journal? Yeah, I used to look at that and be like, that's so bullshit. What are we in like second grade where we write down all our thoughts and feelings and how that girl pulled your hair and shit like that? Dear diary, today I ate pasta for lunch. Like, that's how I thought it was, but I had such a negative perspective about it until I tried it and realized that's not what journaling is. I have been journaling now for like 1.5, 2 years, and I can just say it has transformed my life in such positive ways because even when I want to rant or write something I'm grateful for, I would just take out my book and write it. And it honestly makes you so grateful for the little things because you start to show gratitude towards things you never even knew existed. Even when I write down like negative shit, because obviously they're emotions and we all feel them. So even when I write down like paragraphs of like bad things and negative emotions just coming out, I always try to end with something grateful, like thank you so much for this bad experience or this bad time. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't even have to make sense. You can just write a bunch of random words. If you haven't tried journaling, I would literally recommend everyone to try journaling in this lifetime, because imagine being 60 years old and reading back to what 18-year-old you wrote or thought and how she stressed out over irrelevant ass things that didn't even matter at the time. Another thing is when I journal, answers just reveal themselves without even trying. Like I would be stuck between two things, or every time I would have a problem, I would just write it down and it becomes so crystal clear about what I want, but then your ego and your emotions are clouding your judgment. But when you write it down, you're like, it's so clear. Like you know what you want. You're just letting this hold you back from getting it, you know? I feel like just because this video is about mental health, I'm talking so calmly because usually I'm just like screaming at the camera. And yeah, you know, this is new, transformed, grounded, calm me. No, I'm joking. I've literally always had this side in me. I just don't show it as much on camera. And today I was like, you know what? We need to talk about mental health and things that changed my life. The next thing is reading books. I used to be those kids that hated reading books. Every time in school when we would have like reading lesson or like the reading period for 30 minutes and all kids would read books, I would be that kid who would count the words on the page and be like 1, 2, 3. Like that's how much I hated reading books. Like I would rather count the words on the page or count tiles rather than just read, which was so stupid. I feel like if you went to school with me, you're gonna think I was such a like messed up child, but it is what it is, you know? Like that's how much I hated reading books. And I was like really bad at English and stuff, so I was like, maybe I should read books to improve my vocabulary. That's how I started reading. And then I read this amazing quote about reading, which said, reading takes us someplace to go when you just have to stay right where you are. Which is so true, because I feel like it just takes you into like this whole other dimension you didn't even know existed. I started by reading fiction books like Fault in Our Stars, Harry Potter's. Like they were amazing, fun stories, and then slowly transitioned to self-help books. And let me tell you, those have changed my life. They tell you all the things you're doing wrong and the things in your life that are lacking you need to improve, and basically they just drive you towards being a better person. The next thing is having a routine. I cannot emphasize this more. When people think about having a routine, they think about waking up at 5 a.m, working out, you know, drinking a green smoothie and this perfect life, and look at me, I'm so healthy, I have a morning routine. Having a routine doesn't have to mean that, okay? Like just because it's quarantine season and I'm stuck at home, I literally don't have classes going on or anything, I allow myself to wake up a little late. I wake up at 10 or 11 a.m. every single day, but then I do the same thing from the time I wake up. So I would like wake up, brush my teeth, shower, make my bed, and take my time to eat my breakfast. That's what I enjoy doing in my routine. Literally, it could be anything, whatever you enjoy doing. If you enjoy waking up early, working out, having a green smoothie, and think that works for you, helps you go through the rest of the day, do it. But this is just what personally works for me, you know. Also, another thing is try sleep and wake up at the same time. It doesn't matter whether you sleep at 9 p.m., 12 a.m., 2 a.m. Just sleep at the same time every day and try wake up at almost the same time every morning. Talking about routine, one thing I've incorporated in my morning routine is taking a cold shower. I think this is one of the top things that have changed my life. It sounds like so small and irrelevant until you try it. I'm not talking about cold water that's bearable. I'm talking about like ice cold water. Do you know water where like it hits your face, your brain physically hurts? Yeah, that's the kind of cold I'm talking about. So why do I choose to torture myself like this, you ask? The thing is that actually just instills discipline in me, because nobody wants to wake up and take an ice cold shower. Everybody wants that warmth and comfort, you know, like yes, hot water helps build mental toughness, because I'm doing things I don't want to do. I'm getting out of my comfort zone, and people grow when you get out of your comfort zone. Growth doesn't come from lying in bed and watching series. This is what growth comes from. You have to be willing to seek discomfort in order to grow. I cannot explain to you how much I don't want to do it. Like, I absolutely loathe that 30 seconds, and every time in my mind I'm just like, no, it's not negotiable. Another thing is that it's helped me increase my productivity so much more. Like, I just feel so much more productive when I take a cold shower versus when I don't. Another thing I try do in my morning routine is meditate. I'm actually very guilty of not doing this as often as I should do it. I try my best, you know, and I know best isn't good enough. I should do it every single day. You can try guided meditations if you're like me and get distracted so easy. I know my friends prefer unguided meditations, like they just like to sit there for 10-15 minutes in silence. Meditation is the art of doing nothing. Like, you're just told to sit there in silence and do nothing, and you're like, it's so easy, until you try it and your mind just wanders off. So in the start, you can start out with guided meditations. There's like tons of audios on YouTube for like different moods, morning, night, sleep, whatever. Go do it, and once you feel comfortable, you can do unguided meditation. I recommend you play some binaural beats in the background. That's really helpful. So the next thing is going on walks, going out, just getting some air. You know, every time I feel like my mental health is even this much low, I literally just get out, go on walks, because it's so helpful to just get some air. I don't care what's going on around me. I could be in a social environment, I could be at a dinner with somebody, I could literally have a final the next day. If I feel my mental health deteriorating even this much, I will just leave. Like, leave, get out, go walk, breathe, because mental health over everything. Like, that's literally a motto I have lived by for so long. Patent pending, by the way. But we have one life, and do you really want to spend it being stressed out over things that aren't even gonna matter in like 5 or 10 years? No. Another thing I highly recommend is getting a passion you would die for and then live for it. We all have commitments, like, you know, people have like families to raise and work and making money, school, classes, getting good grades. We all have these things we have to do, and I just recommend having something to do other from this, something that literally satisfies your soul. Making songs, drawing, lifting, like it could literally be anything. And when gyms were open, I literally felt that with lifting. It just like soothed my soul, like made me so calm, and like it was just a way to de-stress and refresh. But ever since gyms have closed, I've started getting back into drawing, and I feel like now this is another way for me to just like de-stress. It's so important to understand that all of us just get caught up in this life and making money, and we just come here and pay bills and die. But like, for what? For what if you're not truly internally happy? So go find something that makes you internally happy and then do it. Okay, this last one is learning how to say no. It is so obvious, but you know what? Don't do things you don't want to do. If your friend invites you to a party and you don't want to go and you rather stay in, don't say yes just because you're concerned of how the other person is going to feel. You are not responsible for other people's feelings. You're responsible for your own feelings. And if you're surrounding yourself with people who catch feelings when you say no to hang out with them, they're actually like the wrong kind of people. Because somebody who genuinely wants the best for you would understand where you're coming from. It's taken me so long to learn this, because for the longest time I would just put other before I would put myself. Only do things you really want to do. Don't do things you don't want to do, because energy and time is so finite, and why waste it on things you don't really want to do, you know? Try take away something from this video. Try incorporate at least 2 or 3 of these things daily in your life. You literally don't have to make a massive transformation from like doing 0 to like doing all of them. Just like try and make these small little gradual changes every day, and before you know it, they're gonna be like massive changes.